Alright, so today what we got is a harness bar, a universal harness bar that I'm going to be putting in my WRX. As you can see, I got bride seats now. So I got the race equipped harnesses that aren't attached to anything currently, and some people do go to the back seat, but what I'm going to be doing is instead I'm just going to be putting in a harness bar. That way I can still utilize the back seat. So like I said, this harness bar is just universal off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. Basically, you could see how I do with it, and then if you want it, go ahead and purchase it. So I read the reviews and everyone said it doesn't come with any instructions, so I opened the box already and sure enough it doesn't come with any instructions, but it should be pretty self-explanatory. So you got the harness bar, which is very thick. I mean, it feels at least an inch thick. You got the supporting rods, and then you got your nuts and bolts that come with it. So I'll go ahead and open this thing up. Alright, so we got the harness bar completely unwrapped and everything. Now, that it didn't come with instructions, some of the stuff kind of looks weird because there's definitely threads in this. And I know these go down to the seatbelt. And then we got two different size eyelets that are swivelable here. So I'm not really sure where these kind of go. We'll have to, well, what my plan is we're going to throw this in the car. And then everything else should kind of just line up, and you should be able to tell like what goes where and what fits and etc, etc. So what we're going to do is now we're going to try to just throw this in the car. And to take this and put it in the car, all you have to do is unmount the two seatbelt bolts at the top, and then these ends should theoretically just bolt right in there since it's a universal bar. Alright, so here's a little update. So what we had to do is pull off the complete assembly that pushes this up and down basically when you have the normal seatbelts on. So those are completely gone, and then we found these washers that go in between both of them right there. And basically what you do is you take this bolt off there, there's like a locking washer and such, and what you do is you just get this little washer. You don't need the locking washer or anything, and it perfectly meets. So it's not stopped yet, but it hasn't been fully tightened. So what we're going to do is fully adjust this bar so that we can figure out where exactly we want it. And then we have to install, because right here there's push rods that go down to there, so we're going to install the push rods too then. So basically what we're going to do now is find the rods and get the little links that go into the bottom there, and then we're going to install those to see how high or how low we want this bar to go. But basically the harnesses meet up pretty good, so coming through you can kind of see that they meet up pretty well right there. So that's good, but we're just going to move these out of the way so that we can work in this area. Alright, so here is the finished product basically. Obviously I have a couple touching up things to do, but the bar is completely in and secured. So, I mean, as you can see, I mean, I'm jerking on it pretty hard and it is not going anywhere. The rods are completely in the bottom. I mean, basically what we did is we just adjusted them all the way up so that we had little to no room up here, and then taut these. But overall it is in. And then right now I'm just adjusting the harnesses so that they are even on both sides and are strapped really tight. So this one's pretty much good. We just sized it up for my brother. And then we're going to do my driver's seat. As you can see though, it looks a little bit weird because my driver's seat is so much further forward than the passenger seat. But they do have rails. I have the Buddy Club racing rails for the seats, so they do move forward and backward, but that is my driving position, so I guess it's just gonna have to look a little bit different. But surprisingly there's still enough room for someone to sit back here even though the bar is here. But that's an overall view of this harness bar from Amazon. It took us roughly about an hour and 20 minutes to put it in fully. I did have to, on the other side over there, cut up a little carpet. No big deal because honestly you could see it just molds back around it, but this side was okay with it. This side had no problems, but it is fully in now. On this side we zip tied the extra pieces of the straps so that it looks clean. On that side I'm gonna wait and just maybe adjust it one more time or so and to see how I like it. But overall that's the final look. Like I said, the link will be in the description for this. overall I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks, considering my car is red and the seats are red now and the harness bar is also red. It all matches, pretty flush and everything. So if you want to check this one out, link is in the description. One thing I did want to mention is all these extra nuts and bolts came with it. We did not end up using any of these. I mean, I don't know what you would even use this for. It didn't really fit in anywhere, and you're able to use all the factory hardware that's in the car, because the only thing I could think of that you would use these for is actually in the bottom by the seatbelt on the bottom, but those are the same length as the ones that are in the car, so you really have no use. And then obviously I took out all the plastics and covers that were in with the seatbelts, and so I'm just going to keep all this stuff just in case. Maybe if one of the bolts breaks or something, these would be extra, but I have no idea what you would use this big nut for, and then all these huge washers and stuff. But there's no instructions, so these are all just extras that I can use for something else.